This is what Australia's domestic gas shortage looks like next year. The equivalent of not 1 or 2 tankers of liquefied natural gas, but 14 of them.
A 56 petajoule shortfall in supply to Australia's east coast.
Despite Australia being a nation with huge gas reserves.
The ACCC report is damning, no doubt about it.
The competition watchdog finding gas exporters have effectively ignored an agreement to ensure sufficient domestic supply, causing a crisis for East Coast customers, like Flickers Australia, a Melbourne textile company whose gas bill quadrupled in May when its retailer collapsed.
It was about $2,000 a day, now it's $8,000 to $10,000 a day, which going forward is not viable.
Gary Barnes says the entire manufacturing sector requires energy costs to be kept in check.
So if we are a country that wants to manufacture in Australia, keep jobs in Australia, keep businesses viable, we must lower costs.
The ACCC recommending the government intervene in the energy market.
For Australian manufacturers, a number of whom are finding that they cannot afford to continue their operations, this will make a huge difference.
Key will be bolstering the so-called gas trigger, which allows the government to slap export controls when there's a domestic shortfall.
This was the big stick legislation, which is now more like an impotent tool.
The Resources Minister giving notice she'll pull the trigger once it's made fit for purpose.
We've never had to pull the trigger because we've been able to have a relationship where you can constructively sit down and talk to them.
This is all about 2 things: more gas for Australia at more competitive prices.
In its report, the ACCC notes that when just 3 LNG exporters effectively control 90% of gas reserves on Australia's east coast, the risk of coordinated conduct increases. So when there's big money to be made servicing Western Europe and Japan, who are clamouring for Australian gas to reduce reliance on Russian supply, the need for tough oversight is obvious. Andrew Probyn, ABC News, Canberra.